electromagnetic beings. So our vibration is increasing. And with that increasing vibration, time is also speeding up. I believe science just proved that time is speeding up, even just like a micro, millisecond, but it's happening. And so, when I first had my past life regression and I realized time as we know it in a linear fashion is actually an illusion, it took me a very long time to wrap my brain around that concept. Mm-hmm. There's a visual that I want to give you that made the most sense to me, but I'm a visual learner.
Me too.
So we have been taught that time works like this, right? Past, present, and then future. But time actually works like this: past, present, and future.
And for people listening, will you explain that?
So instead of time going from A to the left to B to the right to C, it's stacked on top of each other. Mm-hmm. So what's really cool, and it will mess with your brain, and it still messes with mine, is that every single timeline does exist and can exist and is currently existing right now. And what I mean by that is every choice we make creates another branch in reality, okay? And so, for example, this morning, I chose this outfit, but there are 10, 15, an infinite number of different choices that I made to show up wearing different outfits with different accessories. And all of those different choices, all of those different timelines, I would be saying this exact thing right here, right now, just wearing something slightly different, right? Everything's the same except for that one choice. That is currently existing right now. Okay? So there's also a timeline where I'm vacationing in Hawaii right now. Mm-hmm. Great. So let's hop over to that. Now, the problem with hopping into a different timeline, right, is a lot of it's your focus, a lot of it's your belief, right? When we get unfocused and we observe everything objectively, that's when glitches happen. That's when Mandela effects happen. That's when duplications happen, okay? Because we're not observing one state of being, we're not creating that state of being. So typically when someone is in like autopilot programming, right? Every day I wake up at 6 a.m., I make my coffee, I put on my suit, I go to work and I do the 9 to 5 and I come home and this is my routine every single day. So every single day is going to look the same, right? Because you're creating that, because you're choosing the same thing. And so when we want to hop from right now to a vacation on the beaches of Hawaii, there's a lot of different variables. There's a lot of different choices and probabilities in between this timeline right here and that one. The more choices that are involved in the hop of the timeline, the less likely it is that we're just going to glitch into that alternate timeline, okay? So the more likely glitch in the timelines that we would have is I blink, close my eyes, and by closing my eyes, I'm not observing the present moment. Of course, you're observing, right? And we got you, but and all of a sudden I open my eyes and I'm not wearing a watch. And I just seamlessly hopped into the timeline where I didn't choose a watch today, right? Mm-hmm. And so this is where we get Mandela effects and glitches and different rememberings of things. And what's really cool is as the vibration increases, more and more people are going to be experiencing these timeline glitches, these Mandela effects, these weird duplications or what have you. People are going to start experiencing simultaneous time, and things like that. So these are conversations that we have to have. I mean, look at all the Marvel movies right now. They're all about opening portals and weird rifts and time continuum,
The Big Bang, wormhole, black holes.
Quantum things, So, and I love that because this is a conversation that we need to be having because this is where we're going. So it does still hurt my brain today, but here's what I suggest. And I actually put this in my anxiety book because my anxiety book isn't about, it's not really about anxiety. It's about reprogramming your brain. And I'm a big believer in neuroplasticity. I'm sure you are too. At any age, at any time in your life, you can change the wiring of your brain, right? When we wake up and we make the same choice every single day, we're walking the same path. We're firing the same neural pathways, right? And so we can do that with our eyes closed. What I recommend is you consciously make a different choice. So I used to do this all the time back in the day when I was like, I want to hop timelines. I want to mess up my reality. So I would take something random on my desk and I would just huck it across the room. And then I'd be like, well, in a different timeline, I chose the pink pen instead of the blue pen, right? Mm-hmm. But by doing something sudden and something random, not only are you creating a brand new neural pathway in your brain, practicing consciously neuroplasticity, but you're telling your nervous system it's okay to make a different choice. Mm-hmm. This is what anxiety does. It keeps us stuck in the loop of, I am safe doing what I know, and if I make a different choice, I will not be safe. And all of those alarm bells are going to go off telling you you're not safe doing this. Mm-hmm. So if we do something different, completely random, in a safe way, harmless way, we are telling our brain, we're telling our neural pathways, we're telling our nervous system, we're telling our emotional state, it's okay to make different random choices, and I'm going to get through this. Mm-hmm. And then we can make bigger choices that are more important and more serious, and we can have trust in that.
Yeah, it's like training your brain that you are resilient and that it's okay. Yep. And these micro, kind of smaller weights that you're lifting before some of the bigger ones. Yeah, so there's so much we'll dive into and kind of weave it together. But I also want to give people, just to hear some of your story when you were 18.